1973, the Navarre Chamber of Commerce was formed, chaired by Jim Parker, and known today as the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. For 50 years, the Chamber has served as the voice of business. Big or small, the Chamber has been a catalyst for local business, helping enhance the quality of life in the Navarre community. Tonight, we celebrate our history and look to our future, and the future is bright. Your chamber is at the forefront of business success and provides professional development, networking opportunities, advocacy for legislation to protect businesses, and support of our military. As the Navarre area's strongest supporter of new business, we have facilitated thousands of ribbon cuttings. Businesses value their partnership with the Navarre Chamber because they know the importance of investing in their community.
What can we do as a bunch of older men sitting around this table drinking coffee? What can we do to improve, we'll use a golf term, the life of this community? We want to help it. We want to see it grow. And what can we do? This group of men decided that maybe a Chamber of Commerce would be a good idea. And of course, none of us sitting at the table, Bill, if you remember, we didn't know what anything about developing the Chamber of Commerce. That's like foreign language to me. But we thought it was a good idea. So to develop Navarre Chamber of Commerce, and that's what it was originally.
Before there was a chamber, there was a group of local businessmen, a very small group, maybe 5 or 6. My grandfather, E.H. Pullum, my dad, Bill Pullum, Ira Wells, Captain Sly, and several others that would meet at a coffee shop located right here on Highway 98. We always called it Ira May's, and everybody knows Ira May Bruce. And they would get together and discuss local issues and things going on in the community, things that they want to better, whether it be 4-laning roads or what have you, putting infrastructure in. And they decided that they really needed a vessel for their voice.
Jim's dad, Orion Parker, and Bill's dad, Al Pullum, helped get the chamber started and officially petitioned, I guess, the county or whoever they had to. I believe Ira Wells, Ira May Hewitt's dad, the 3 of them were the ones that actually put the chamber together.
So they, with the help of the Fort Walton Chamber, went and applied for a charter, and it was granted. And then they started going around recruiting businesses and individuals to be charter members of the first chamber. And this was, they had their first official meeting. It was April the 2nd, 1973. And there's a reason I know that, because my mother was 9 months pregnant, April 2nd, and on her way out to the parking lot, after the very first meeting, she went into labor, and I was born the next day. So me and the chamber almost shared the same birthday, but not quite.
I think it's very important for people to understand how impactful the chamber has been over the course of the last 50 years. You know, it's interesting, in a couple years, Navarre will be celebrating its centennial, 100 years as a community. And, you know, the chamber, now 50 years old, has played a significant role, I think, in the improvements that we've seen in our community.
We, I think, all had a vision of the community and where it had potential to go, and I think that's playing out in front of our very eyes here in 2023.
My father was the first vice chairman. Jim Parker was the first chairman. Jim, an amazing man.
To have my father-in-law be one of the first presidents, and so we've always had a tie into the Chamber of Commerce.
And they started holding meetings and making or setting goals for what they wanted Navarre to look like in 20 or 30, 40, 50 years, including the 4-laning of Highway 87, turning Santa Rosa County wet so we can serve wine and liquor at our restaurants and by the package. bringing a post office to Navarre. We didn't have a post office. So it was long distance to call Milton, Pensacola, and Fort Walton, and they wanted that taken away. And all 4 of those they accomplished, along with many, many other goals they set at some of those first meetings.
It seems silly, but when we first moved here, we had to pay 25 cents for every phone call to the county seat. So to call Milton was a long distance call. And you know, that was just ridiculous. And it's because of the Chamber of Commerce that fee went away, that the phone service became local.
Back several years ago, we decided to make events fun because people remember events where they have fun. Specifically like our Commerce and Coffee, the monthly networking events, you're already having to get up early for a networking event, and not everyone's ready to network at 7:30 in the morning. So like in February, we do a Mardi Gras theme. So we invite everybody to dress Mardi Gras. In April, we do Kentucky Derby theme. In August, we do a big kickoff party because everybody's excited about football, and we invite everyone to wear their favorite football jersey. And people love doing that. We live in the South, so and then people start building those connections. Oh, you're an Alabama fan too. Oh, you know, so that helps, you know, build those relationships too.
I joined the Chamber in 2009 when I joined the Navarre Press team. I knew immediately that was the best way to get connected with other businesses.
I moved here over the weekend of July 4th, 2019. And I think I joined the Chamber officially July 11th of 2019. So within a week of unpacking all the boxes and all, I came down and joined the Chamber.
I moved here in the summer of '99 after 5 years of living overseas. I thought the best way to get involved is to go to the Chamber of Commerce, kind of look around, go to some events, and maybe hopefully get to meet some people.
It really gave me a way to get to know Navarre and to get to know the people. And my husband always laughed. He said, if you worked as hard as you volunteer for the Chamber, I'd be a millionaire.
They've just helped. You know, they've been very supportive of everything we've done, and you know, they help out with, which they have from the beginning, anything that we have going on here, and you know, all through the community, they will say the same thing. They're very supportive of their members, and they'll do anything for you that they can do. And we certainly appreciate it. Over the years, they've helped us, and people have heard about us through the Chamber. The Good Time Regatta, yes. That's one of the ones that from the very beginning, they've always been helpful promoting that and sponsoring that, and just everything. I mean, they've been great. I know, I can't believe it's been 50 years. They are the voice of this community.
1993, I think it was the end of that year or the first of 94, I had gone to Hurlburt Field with my husband, and I noticed there was a big crowd at Cowboys. There was a lot of cars at the restaurant, and I was wondering what that was because I'm internally curious. So I called the restaurant and said, what was that big group you had there this morning? Here I am, just moved to Navarre from Texas, and I want to know what was going on. So they told me it was the Chamber, and then I stopped by the Chamber and joined the Chamber.
I've been a member since 1990 when we opened the lumberyard. Remember the ribbon cutting that we had when we opened it, and Shirley Brown and Charlie Brown were there, and the Bryants, and you know, all the old timers, and some of them aren't with us anymore. So just real fond memories of the Chamber.
So from the time that we got here, just being involved with the school system, the Chamber's been so supportive of our schools. And so I was involved and served on the education committee at one time for the Chamber. But my husband, Dr. Michael Barber, started his medical practice here in Navarre and delivered babies in Navarre for over 20 years and was a member of the Chamber. So the Chamber on a very personal level, a business level, but also with our educational system system have just been critical to ensuring quality of life here, but ensuring that we have great schools.
At that time, I had an in-home marketing company business, and we ended up actually doing the Chamber's logo, which we use a variation of today. So that was, way back almost 30 years ago. And this is what the logo looked like, the first one, and we even got it copyrighted, and it was on a water tower, and I made the front of our local newspaper at the time, which was Navarre News, so I was very excited.
I was trying to be active in the community, meet people, and that kind of thing, and I met a lady named Kathy Larker and a lady named Ira Mae Hewitt, who really twisted my arm to get involved. So, of course, how could you say no to those two?
Our chamber brings people together, and people do business with people they know.
This chamber is deep to my heart for several reasons. The people are fantastic. They have the goal of the community. They love their community. They love each other. And it's such a warm energy that I want to be part of.
Navarre's always been a special community, and a lot of people move down here and they get involved in the chamber and they're accepted, and everybody's one big family.
I love this chamber because everybody is like family.
One of the things that I think our chamber involvement taught us when we first joined in 1986 after opening in Navarre was the business-to-business contacts that we could make, and the connections and the referrals, and it just seems to work so well. And people, when they have a common ground like the chamber provides, it just makes for a more cohesive business environment.
Yeah, they've always been very supportive of our business and helping us with events, and then we've always had events that the chamber's had, and other nonprofits around here. We've done a lot of work with the Santa Rosa Kids House and Healing Paws for Warriors.
Well, I'm a member of a lot of chambers, and every chamber has its unique culture. The Navarre Chamber seems to be like a lot of friends, and of course that's the chamber I attend the most, but it's just like coming home every time I go to a meeting.
Navarre is such a special community. It's vibrant, it's supportive, it's super positive, and the chamber has been at the center of all of that, making sure that new businesses feel welcomed and feel supported. So I've always admired the ambassadors for the chamber. I guess one of my favorite ribbon cuttings actually happened to be my husband's medical practice, and they were present for that.
Going to all of those events and really learning who our business neighbors are, who our neighbors are, is so important. And the Navarre Chamber gives us the opportunity to do that. And that's really why I love this chamber.
We are not incorporated. I think people look to the chamber for so much.
I believe the chamber actually has a pretty big impact on the forward movement of South Santa Rosa County. So it's pretty good to see these business owners come together and kind of discuss the future of Navarre and Navarre Beach.
Our voice pretty much says Navarre. So if there's something that needs to be done with the county commissioners, we promote it, and it usually happens. So we're a big voice, not only just in chamber membership, but also in the community.
And I think that we'll be very focused again on being that voice to make improvements, to lead our community into the next 50 years, because that's where we're at. We've come a long way, but we've got so far to go.
We had no representation at the time here in Navarre back in the early 70s. We weren't incorporated and still aren't incorporated. So we didn't have a voice, and the chamber became that voice not only for businesses, but for individuals also.
I think that the chamber, people like Jim Parker and Bill Pullum and Ira Mae were true leaders. The connections they made through their businesses would overflow to the chamber.
Every other Thursday, they would caravan All the chamber members will caravan and go to the county commission meetings and express the different things that they needed and wanted around the Navarre community, and 9 times out of 10 they were successful.
So whatever the issue may be, the chamber would go out like we used to do, and they would ferret out all the details and decide what kind of stand we should take based on what the membership would want, and we would try to, rally that cause, if you will, with the county government.
We really have been sort of disenfranchised from the government seat because we are in South County. And one of the things that is so important is that as a Chamber of Commerce, we provide adequate advocacy, appropriate advocacy. And so when this chamber goes to a meeting in Milton, when this chamber goes to an economic symposium, when this chamber goes to a policymaker, the policymaker understands that this chamber is made up of a really broad group of people that have come together to go ahead and make a request. And it's so important that they do that consistently, especially now that Navarre has grown so much.
The Chamber has, I think, laid kind of a great foundation for this community to be very positive, to be very supportive of one another, to be protective of this community, to make sure that the businesses that are here operate in a professional way, in a way that is focused on customer service. And I think that you can just feel it in the Navarre community. You can feel it at the chamber meetings, you can feel it at the breakfasts, you can just feel it from the leaders in this community that this is a very, very special place.
All the networking opportunities it gives us. The Tunes and the Dunes has been just fantastic. Love that. The Thursdays in the park, the networking, the after hours, the breakfasts, of course. Just great networking opportunity.
In 2011, the Fun Fest, I was asked by one of the board members then, who was a co-worker, Regina Carter, to lead our corporate team of Gulf Power in the Fun Fest for the Corporate Challenge. And the watermelon eating contest was the part I was involved in, and I got beat by a lady in the watermelon eating contest. And what was interesting about that was that years later, I didn't even know the lady at the time, years later, it ended up, is now my wife. That's who beat me in the watermelon eating contest, yeah.
How romantic.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
We started the Fun Fest out at the beach, and I was, the first year we did it, I believe, when I was president, and Ira May told me, look, you got $1,000 budget, let's make this happen. And I had no idea how to do anything like this. So.
The Fun Fest was great. It really was sad when they stopped doing that. But that was a great event because we had a lot of groups that would come out, kids that would do concerts, and we had a lot of really good music there and a lot of arts and crafts, and it was just a really fun time. So I really, really enjoyed that. We had a great time doing that, and Taste of Navarre was big. We got grant money the year that I was chair. We did Taste of Navarre previous. And what it was we set it up in the park over there when that's where we used to have our meetings, where it's the tourist development building now. We had a stage back there that Tommy Vatter had built, and we did all the concerts in the park over there. And then we started this Taste of Navarre event. And what it was every local food establishment was invited to participate. We'd put out tables for them, and they'd have certain things from their restaurant, and people would go through and taste everything and then rate them, and it was fun. We had quite a few that did that. So in 2013, we were allotted a lot of money from the government because of the oil spill. It was grant money. We were able to get some guest chefs in, big ones. We had Marcus Samuelson one year, we had Jeffrey Zakarian, both from Chopped and other food shows and cookbooks. So the first year we had Jeffrey Zakarian, and he did a demonstration, a cooking demonstration, and talked, and people were able to taste it, and it was just so much fun. And we had some local chefs that did stuff before him, tasting stuff, and it was just a really fun event. People loved it, and then when we got the celebrity chefs in, they really loved it.
I love the annual awards and its installation. I mean, you're looking back and looking forward, and I get emotional every year of just hearing about you know, the businesses that are getting recognized and the volunteers that are getting recognized.
Volunteer of the Year one time in the Legend Awards, and you know, and it's, I guess the awards are nice, but we do it because of the passion that we have for what we do and a passion for the chamber. You know you love a thing when you commit the three things that are among the most important things to you. Those things are your passion, your time, and your money. We commit those three things to it, and that's what it's all about.
You had to each month almost contribute, and we would laugh and said it gets a little expensive being on the board. But it was so positive. We really enjoyed it.
I'm serious. When I was chairman of the board, there wasn't a soul in Navarre that I didn't know. And every business, I made it a point to go and knock on the door. Kind of like Pullum. Bill Pullum taught me that. You know, you go around and you knock on the door and say, brother, I need a check. It's time for dues, you know? And you don't leave till they write you a check. So I could really raise some money back then when I had to.
I love going to Tunes by the Dunes and meeting new people at the breakfasts. One thing about the Navarre Chamber is the people in the community are fun and they're community minded.
Back in the 70s, they used to have some great parties, Christmas parties. They did a New Year's Eve party, and it was like, not only did they work hard, but they played hard.
I really miss the days when I was heavily involved here at the Navarre Chamber. I mean, I liked, you know, going to work during the day and then, you know, cutting out a little early to make those ribbon cuttings here in Navarre. And I always enjoyed starting Fridays with the last Friday breakfast and, you know, the annual events that would install new officers and that sort of thing was always big, and I miss those days a lot.
And the installations in January, now that used to be a really good time too. Usually the awards took part late January, and we always did that at Hurlburt, the officers club over there, and that was a great time. We did, and it was a lot of work, but we did it. Yeah. It was fun. I mean, we had a different theme every year. Yeah, the year that I got to do it as past chair, got to pick whatever theme was going to be. So mine was Dancing with the Stars.
I love it.
It was great. It was so much fun. People really got into it, and we hired a group. I think it was from Fred Astaire Studio in Fort Walton, and there was another studio in downtown Pensacola, and they came out and did a dance demonstration. It was so cool.
I love that.
And we had a band, and you know, people were into dancing, and it was so much fun.
I think the other great memory that I have during that time was at the end of my term being able to present Ira Mae Bruce with the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Chamber. She was so instrumental in the foundation of where we are now in Navarre, and I couldn't think of a better person who deserved that distinction. And she really laid the framework and did the work. She rolled up her sleeves. She, you know, stepped in when Navarre needed her the most. And so that was a great honor as well. You know, she was the First Lady of Navarre.
The Chamber is all about making connections. Business connecting with business to support and elevate.
What makes a chamber connection unique versus, you know, you can meet people at church, you can meet people in other social gatherings, but I think that when people come together at a chamber event, there is a sense of how can I support your business and how can I tell you something about my business that you can support as well. So there seems to be a real purpose in the connections that happen at chamber events?
Well, the chamber actually led me to meeting my business partner, Gretchen Carter. She had first moved here, and I met her briefly at a Commerce and Coffee when she was promoting her organized occasions and grocery concierge concept back in 2019.
Well, I think it builds a friendship of these businesses and business owners. They support one another. You know, you'll go from, say, the owners of Stripes of Be It, Juana's, an owner of Juana's of Be It, the Vine, and all the areas come together and they support one another. It's very, very important for the success of the small businesses.
Well, personally, in my business in real estate, because I'm the only realtor in Navarre, but no, seriously, the networking to get just to promote your business, to promote yourself, and also to help the other businesses. And that's what we do. So when someone comes in my office and they're looking for insurance or mortgage people, the first people I go to are members of the chamber. If I need somebody to do pressure washing, I go to the pressure washing people of the chamber. It's the list that I follow for everything I do in my business.
I have often been asked, well, why do you do it? What drives you? I mean, you're not making any money from it, or sometimes it's about paying it forward. So friends you meet along the way, the relationships that you developed.
You never know who you're going to meet at one of the chamber events, and even though it may be a product that you don't need, whatever their product or service is, it could be that somebody that you're talking to needs that service, and you say, oh, well, I've actually met the owner, the manager of XYZ business, and so a lot of people feel more comfortable when they're, you know, when they have a suggestion of a company.
Attending the chamber events is a great way to build relationships because people want to know the people they're doing business with.
We've been, 30 plus year connections, Good
thing about the chamber, not only do you promote your business, you develop friendships, family, lifelong friendships. So it's a great thing. I think if anybody that has a business surely would want to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. That's the most important thing.
It's so exciting to me to see a small business owner start, but one of the things that's so difficult about being a small business owner is you may be the very best in the world at what you do, but when you become a small business owner, now all of a sudden you have to learn about marketing, and you have to learn about employment, and you have to learn about taxes, and you have to learn about accounting, and you may not know how to do that. And so I think that for small business owners, the chamber is sort of the nexus for everything. That is the go-to place to find out where to get the services that you need and the help that you need and the access that you need.
So being in this position for me is an honor, and it's humbling in the sense too, because there have been so many great people that have preceded me in this role, including the current outgoing chair right now, Gretchen Carter, but so many people. When you go back in history, Mr. Pullum, Mr. Parker, you've had Shirley Brown, you had a number of different people that have been so involved in the community that have been icons in our community, Ed Taylor and a number of other folks.
And it's testimonial to everybody who started this chamber. Ira May, the Pullums, the Parkers, the original people that started this great organization, and Dorothy Sly, the Sly family, that we wouldn't have this building right now if it wasn't for Bob Sly supporting us and getting it. Kudos to all those people that spend, the Sandlers and the Gibbs that give all their time, and our volunteers is what makes this networking.
Also, another thing was military affairs. That was another real big thing. It was really, I'm so glad we were able to do that. And I think maybe Chris is the one that got that going, Chris Beam, but that was a real big thing for our chamber to get involved with the military.
I got involved with the chamber in '91, and it was Kathy Larker. Kathy asked me to get involved, and so I didn't know what she was talking about, but next thing I know, I was on the board of directors.
You end up putting so much into it, and like I said, the people like Cookie Kostopoulos, that was just and the Shirley and Charlie Brown, we had so many good volunteers. They were always stepping up.
I remember meeting Bill Pullum, and I still remember how nice and welcoming he was he just really, was so sincere and just seemed like a genuine gentleman.
Incidentally, one of the first people that I met who was very much involved with the chamber when we first got here was Ira Mae Hewitt, and I can't say enough about her because right off the bat she made me feel welcome and at home, and so from that point on, volunteered for Christmas in the Park. I loved it, had a passion for it, year after year, and it's funny how you get sucked in.
And Ira Mae had a way of getting you involved, volunteering. She was awfully good.
Bill Pullum was very instrumental in me being successful in my business, and so was Ira Mae. All these people helped me be successful, and I can't thank them enough for it.
That's kind of why I do what I do, is for our founders and people that have come before me, is just to, keep the good work that previous chairs have done, previous president, CEO.
I'm talking about the Bill Pullums, the Ira Mae Hewitt, and Dorothy Sly, and a lot of those people who were involved in the early years were still active in the chamber. They still seem to have a passion for it, and it was through that passion that I saw in those people made me feel like, hey, this is something worthwhile to be a part of.
We are limited only by our imagination, and your chamber has just begun to imagine how bright our future can be.
I was involved with that, the TDC building. We got that donated to us, and I was the one with the job of figuring out how to get that old house moved from Fort Walton down here to Navarre. And we raised the money and hired a guy to bring it down here. So that was all formed by our Chamber of Commerce, the TDC.
So in 1993, one of the accomplishments, major accomplishments that we were able to do was to get a real chamber office. At the beginning of '93, we were in a small room inside what was then the Navarre Community Center on the Schoolhouse Road, and by the generous donation of the Larker family, they had a portable building down in Mary Esther that had been a one-time bank. That building got moved to the side of Navarre Park, and with the help of a lot of local businesses, we were able to assemble that building back and make it what at that time was a very nice chamber office that we were really proud of.
In 1995, we combined the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce with the TDC, put them two in the same building to work together. So basically it was combining those two entities, and the chamber budget went from about 30-something thousand to 90,000 in 1 year. And I say, well, that was a pretty good accomplishment, but really Ira Mae and Bill did most of the work, and I just kind of championed the cause and was the front person, but it was a pretty big deal at the time.
Well, the Chamber Foundation, we are the 501c3 organization, separate from the Chamber, but we support Chamber initiatives and help other people, organizations that want to become 501c3s, let's say. We can help sponsor them on that path.
2009 year was a formative year where we changed things around, and now the Navarre Chamber Foundation has done a lot of things for the community in itself and has its own board. And the Navarre Chamber Foundation's been responsible for the reefs out there, the artificial reefs. We do a run for the reef. It also did the Navarre Fishing Rodeo for a little while. And there's just a lot of activities. We also did the kayak launch off of the beach.
I took the position after Tamara Fountain had the position for a year or two. She was a tremendous help to get the chamber into a good foundation and just, put policies in place to really help the chamber just, grow and really prosper. And just not long after, we were able to purchase our own building.
We were already looking for a new home,
But it made more sense after we knew that the widening was coming through to really be in the heart of Navarre in that downtown area. So we found that new home on Prado Street, and we were able to purchase that building during my term as chairman.
You know, we all strived for the same goals, and you know, I think it's safe to say we achieved many of them.
And now our membership is growing, and our program of work is growing, and it's just, the chamber's in a really good place, and the sky's the limit now of what the chamber can do.
Small business is truly the backbone of Navarre's economy. Therefore, it is so important for small businesses and medium-sized businesses to be fully engaged in the Navarre Chamber. It is absolutely essential to build that sense of community and build a partnership for these small businesses to support one another, learn from each other, and also engage in best practices to help grow their small business.
It's very important for businesses in Navarre to support each other and really focus on shopping local, because shopping local, those dollars go back into the community. Everything's connected.
If we want to have a strong, vibrant community, we need to do as much of our shopping here locally as we can.
I just think we can all help each other in so many ways.
Businesses need to support one another because all boats rise in the sea together. We will only get better if we share ideas. We only get better if we share information. It is so critical that we do all that we can to support one another and to support our nonprofit community.
I still remember that, you know, still being a young guy in business and concerned and worried, but you know, had people in the chamber and they would do business with us and we do business back. So it just, I mean, it felt like family. It's meant a lot.
We have to rely on each other. Having small business supporting small business, or large business like Florida Power and Light, Okaloosa Gas, those big companies helping to support the small business through the chamber is always going to be very, very important for Navarre.
It's important so you build a community. If you don't support one another, then you know it's going to be hard to survive.
So if we don't carry one another along, and we don't work with one another, and we don't highlight one another, and we don't give each other an opportunity to grow, and we don't do that for each other, we will lose that community. And I think if we did that, we would lose something that's really special about Navarre.
You know, competition is a great thing, but there's room enough for everybody if you are here for the right reasons. And if you are here to add to the quality of life that we have, to provide consumers, customers, clients with the best quality of service, then I think as everyone ups their game, everybody's game is upped.
As Navarre's grown, we've been able to really focus more on that because we have a lot more here than we did 50 years ago. So it's really, really important to shop local. The Navarre Chamber means everything to me. It's like my second home. I've made some of my best friends being here. I love Navarre. I love that my job helps me make a difference in the community.
In a newspaper article one time years ago, I described the chamber really as kind of like a sibling to me. Because as I was growing up, the chamber was growing and growing up also. And I appreciate that looking back, all those great memories that the chamber has given me and my family.
Well, the chamber really is an anchor of the community, and participating in the chamber has given my wife and I an opportunity to truly be part of the community.
To me, it was a wonderful experience just to be involved in something like that, which when I got involved, I really didn't know what I was getting into. And I found out quickly it was a great group of people that I got to work with. And I got to meet so many people through. I was involved with some of the military stuff through the chamber. just being able to meet different people and seeing how they conduct their businesses and their lives and learning somewhat from other businesses and people in the community. I think we've fostered a great relationship with the Navarre community, and a lot of it has to do with being involved with the chamber.
Well, it meant a lot to me when I was in business. It meant everything to me because it was just, to me, the chamber was just a way of life. In other words, I couldn't be in business without being in the chamber.
Happy anniversary from Navarre Beach Fire Rescue. Thank you for all you do and all you have done for the past 50 years.
Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce members, past members, I am grateful for you, and I wish all of us the best of success for the next 50 years, and say happy anniversary for the past 50 years.
On behalf of the Board of Directors for 2023 of the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, and me personally and my family, I just want to wish the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce a happy 50th anniversary.
Happy 50 years for the Chamber of Commerce Navarre, greatest organization in town. Just love being a part of the chamber and hope we make another 50 years.
Happy 50th anniversary, Navarre Beach Chamber. I'm proud to be part of it.
I wish you the best for the next 50 years because the first 50 have been fantastic.
Well, happy 50th anniversary, and I'm so delighted to see how everybody's hard work has led us to this place. And today could not have been a better day. To see everybody come back together, to see everybody united is just such a special moment. So great job, everybody, and happy 50th anniversary.
Happy 50th Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations.
I want to wish a heartfelt happy 50th anniversary from myself and my family to the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce.
I want to wish the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce a very happy 50th anniversary.
Happy 50th anniversary to the best chamber ever.
To the Navarre Area Chamber of Commerce, happy 50th birthday.
I'd like to wish the Navarre Area Chamber of Commerce a very happy 50th anniversary and looking forward to helping in the next 50 years. Hopefully I'll be around to celebrate that as well.
Happy 50th anniversary, and it's well deserved, and I hope we have another 50.
All right, happy 50th anniversary. Many, many more.
So it really excites me to be able to wish and congratulate actually the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce on their 50th anniversary. It's been a long run. There's been some great people that have been along the route. It's been quite the journey, and I know some very positive things are ahead for the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce.
Navarre Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much for what you've added to this community, and happy 50th anniversary.
Thanks very much for letting me be a member of the Chamber of Commerce in the 90s, early 90s I joined. And I want to thank you guys for letting me be a part of it. I'll never forget what you did for me in my career.
Happy 50th anniversary to the Navarre Chamber. Thank you for being here and everything that you've done for the community. And let's hope for another 50.
I would like to wish the Navarre Beach Area Chamber of Commerce the best ever 50th anniversary and 50 more years to come and another 50 after that.
We truly appreciate each and every one of you coming out to celebrate the Navarre Chamber's 50th anniversary. It's been 50 years in the making. 50 years of history, stories to be told, and stories yet to be told in our next 50 years. Remember, this is a celebration of all that your chamber has done in the last 50 years, and it could not have been possible without all of you sitting in this room. Say something.
Hello, hello, Bridget. Chess. Brigitte. Oh.
I can't believe I'm 50. Is that what you had? Oh, no, but the chamber.
My name is Steve Rose, and my sinuses are bad in the morning.
Seal and moist.
Got it on film, going in the blooper reel in front of all of the chamber.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, So